All right, so today is July 31st, 2024. Are we streaming? Yeah, okay, it's on. All right. So this is the last day of the month. Today was FOMC. And Powell speaking. So I didn't really stay too much focused on the charts. I couldn't really see anything in the morning, and when I did notice it, price moved the opposite direction of what I wanted it to, and then same thing like yesterday and Monday, right around 1:30, price had a directional shift or a bigger move, and then during these time here, I didn't trade at all, but price did hit certain levels that I had on the chart. So I'm gonna go over my two trades that I took. I took a trade at right here. I took a trade at the morning. We had a nice sell-off in the morning. I was hoping it would come back down to this 55510 area before reaching this 5560. I really like the selling volume that came in. I like the selling volume that came in, and I also like this long candle that we had here. So I waited for a pullback. I know it's not a wick like I usually say I want from. I know it's like a, and I know it's not a wick at my level, like here, like I typically want, but I wanted to see if price could move down. We did get a bit of a push down. That wasn't where I entered for about maybe 10 points, and I thought we are gonna make that rest of that round back down, but unfortunately we did not. Um, so this is where I entered. This price looked like it was going to break. It didn't break. I said, "Wow, why am I still in this trade?" I did miss the first move of the trade. This is just to clarify. This is the opening candle on the 1 minute chart, and it was the highest volume that we had. I was thinking about marking around here for this nice like 12-point move or 15. I'm not quite sure. Um, but I like that push that we had here in price closing in the 15 minute. We pulled back. We never got that break outside of the channel, so I should have been out of this trade. I did still continue to stay in it for a while, right? Because I thought, you know, my stop was here above that last push. So I stayed in it, and then we had this nice push, and I said, well, I would adjust my stop loss to 42 because this would have been my entry, and my stop would have been there. But since I premature entered this trade, it looked like it was gonna go down, and we ended up buying back in. I didn't want to keep clicking the buy and sell button, so in case the price worked in my favor, and I second guessed myself, so I just stayed in the trade and adjusted as needed. And then as price started to reverse up strongly after having this push, I just took that exit, and that was that because we had like a lower wicks. I didn't like that, and then it was turned into another lower wick. I mean, yeah, and so I just took that exit, called it a day for the morning, and then in the evening, about 30, about an hour, yeah, about an hour after the Powell came, I noticed this level here on my Heikin-Ashi, the last buying price pushed up. I really like this candle right here, so I bought down here as price was breaking out of this channel. Here goes the channel that we have here. Here, price pushed up. I entered at this candle, entered me at the high. I was getting very iffy about it right here, but price was holding. Um, and Q was at a supply zone. I didn't even notice that, but this trade I felt good about it. I like the push down that we had going in here. I like all the volume that was coming in, especially on the in 1 minute. I like all the volume that was coming in going to this price, and then price pushing back out of that channel, right? So All right, so I went in 5 micros contract like I did in the previous trade. My goal was to fill this gap, but if anything, that 5586.5 level price eventually started to move in my favor. Um, Screenshots, and then I noticed that we had this doji here, so I marked it. Price broke out of it nicely, but I ended up getting out right here at 5570, as we were about 8 minutes or so, 12 or 8 minutes or so from closing. Probably I think 12 minutes away from closing. So I took that exit as price was fighting right here and was not going any higher. This was like one of our last strong selling candles. With strong volume, these two over 10K. Couldn't get above them, so I exit the trade for about 10 points, more or less, about 5 to 10 points. Sorry, not 5 points. 9 to 10 points. I think I exit at the 69. I get at 58. So yeah, so about 11 points actually. So price did come back down at the end. I'll go to the charts now. Price did come back down at the end of the session. This is it where I exit right here. Price pushed up and then dropped towards the end of the session, and then it held. This is at 47, so about 13 minutes before the market closed, I took my exit because I don't want to be there at 50, because usually around 50 we get a sharp move, and lo and behold we did. You got a sharp move, and then after price closed right here, you know, I would have been red on the day, right? But price pushed up eventually right after the close, pushed up higher, and then consolidated right here on that wick, and then there it is at my level a whole bunch of hours later. How many hours is that from after I close? This is 4 hours and 27 minutes in the overnight session, right? Unfortunately, I can't hold anything past the 15-minute mark, so right here. So I probably could have gotten this price movement here, which would have been a nice extra 10 points. 12 points. So I think overall I did manage this trade well. Trying to get a 36-point move for 14-point stop loss. Probably a big stop loss. I didn't know it was that huge. I could have sworn it was tighter than that. I thought it was like 7. Phew, that is a huge stop loss. Let me take a look. It didn't feel that huge when I entered the trade, but thank God that I went with 5 micros. I entered here, right? Price came down 5 points against me. I thought I was down like 7. Yeah, so I miscalculated this stop loss, but thank God I went 5 micros, because this could have been bad. Yeah, I did make, like I said, about 11 points, but I was risking 14, but I was trying to get up here, so I could have went in like 1 or 2 micros versus that. I was gonna go, yeah, that would have been bad. So I'm glad that I went smaller, because the range felt too big. This range felt massive. 13 is that range, and my stop loss itself is just as big, if not bigger. So I thought I was gonna be in 7 points in that trade. So I was risking 7 points, or at least 8. Right, I think I would have exit here. Mentally, I think that's where I would have exit. So if I did have that like that, I could have had this like this, still wouldn't have reached, and I probably would have got greedy. And yeah, yeah, maybe I had it there for a reason, but the entry would have been good at this pullback. This would have been better. This would have been probably the best one, a retest of the channel. Now that's 7 points, right? This is what I wanted here, like that. Break that, pull back, retest, and then buy that. Right, this would have been a much better trade. Here, and move my stop loss right here, and then just started tracking it as I go, and probably would have gotten stopped either here or right here. So either way, that would have been a better trade, because that's 16, 17 points. All right, so that's basically it for me. Tomorrow we do have some news at 8:30. This might move the market, and then 10 o'clock. So I might be wanting to come in a little earlier tomorrow to look for potential setups near any levels that I can find. It's 11 minutes, and I'm technically done with this. So finish the day green. First loss was about a 5.7 point loser, and this was about a 11-point winner. Not that bad, but I'm glad I went small today, because this could have been bad. So we filled the gap here in the overnight session. We might still see a gap on the daily. Let's see. Nope, we don't see a gap. Not anymore. So we technically filled that gap now. So we'll see how price reacts to it in the morning, to see how I can go about that. So for my levels for tomorrow, this buying stays. This buying can also stay. And that's technically it for NQ. I'm gonna clear these, move them higher. I'm gonna mark this one. Pushed up. I'm not gonna mark anything here because we're kind of basically still in it. No dojis, no dojis. This might just be too high because we already had this. So the price kind of like went below it already. Yeah, price went below it. So this will be the level for tomorrow for NQ, and this is for ES. I really like these. Things make a lot more sense. Very simple and to the point. Feels very clean. Feels very neat. And these are my levels. Let's look at the daily real quickly for. All right, pushing up. NQ has been doing a good job filling all of his gaps. So yeah, so that's basically where I'm at. My levels are set. Looking for, I really like this channel, looking for some 15-minute wicks, maybe even some 30-minute wicks. I really like this 30-minute inverted hammer candle that we got here. Alright, pretty sure we have a nice channel. Let me mark this like this. See where price broke out of that. What time is that? That's all to the 16 mark. Right here. Alright. That. Alright, stopped. Held that. broke out. Let's see the 1 minute. Um, this, that. All right, boom. There we go. And could could have bought this one here like that. Here, stop loss here below it. This is where I would have put it. That's just too wide. Right here. No, just let it ride. And that's about like a 14 points. It feels like 11 points. Feels more than that. So yeah, that's it for today. Get rid of these, and my levels are set so far, and we'll see how price reacts um, at these levels in the overnight session. Right now, we are already reacting at the gap fill. All right, be back tomorrow morning.